Can you please stand for the national anthem? Thank you very much. The Signature Marching Band, led by Raul Garcia.
Hey, Ralph. Hey, Marco.
Good evening and welcome everybody to Segerstrom High School in South Santa Ana, where tonight it is week 1 of the varsity high school football season. We got heat and we got football on the ledger tonight as the Jaguars, your Segerstrom Jaguars in black, red, and white, will be taking on in the season opener and the home opener the Savannah Rebels out of Anaheim. How you doing, everybody? My name is Peter Pigskin Hebda, and we are here with all the rest of the good people of the Channel 31 SAUSDS School District Channel crew, bringing exciting varsity high school football action. Well, folks, we welcome a new face and a new voice in the broadcast booth tonight. Everyone, please welcome former Baron, former OCC Pirate, and former San Diego Aztec, the one and the only John the Hitman Harkar. John, good to have you with us. Yeah, this is one of the players we've been waiting for all throughout that long, hot camp. You know how this feels. You were there years ago. This is what it's all about. Butterfly time to start, time to escape.
Well, Peter, you're right. You know, the first game is really the crucial game. I mean, you're getting the butterflies out. You've been working for this all summer. You know, it's just a really big feeling for these guys to get out there and get that first hit, that first block, that first run. This is going to dictate the season. It's going to set the stage.
Absolutely. And I was talking to Coach Masterenko, head coach. He's been the head man here. As you can see, the Jaguars taking the field right now, bursting through the red and black paper as they are on the field. And, you know, they have high expectations. They've been kind of caught in they've had a lot of success over the last 3 seasons. Last 3 seasons, they've made the playoffs all 3 years. Last year, they were the runner-up out of their league. Previous 2 or 3 seasons, they were the league champ, but they've never gotten past that second round of playoffs. You know, they want more. You know, when you get the playoffs, you get one win, you feel good. You get that. You want to get that second one. You want to get over the hump. So they've had success. They've always had those great offensive lines. Not always the biggest lines, but I've watched a lot of football, folks, over the last 20 years. A lot of high school games in LA County and Orange County. And for a school this size, a public school, honest to God, I've never seen, John, a better coached offensive line the way these guys play. They blow back teams that are bigger than they are, just with their footwork, their balance, and their well-coachedness. And I don't see any reason why that's going to change or be any different this year. They have 2 guys returning on the O-line from last year's starting squad, and they got all of their talent spots, all the skill positions on the offense are returning this year. So they're looking for big things, and they want bigger and greater things. They want that league title. They want to go deeper in the playoffs, and they have the talent to do it.
Well, Peter, it's about putting it together. I think we're going to see what happens, what the conditioning and the training did in the summertime. Let's take a look at the game.
But we're going to get a start here as the Segerstrom Jaguars will be defending the north goal, going to the south. Here to start the game and to start the season. And of course, at high school level, they still kick off from the 40. That field is so fresh, there's not even any hash marks in the middle of the field there, John.
I don't remember last time that they kicked off from the 40. Maybe that's just because I'm old.
They bounce out of bounds, and that's actually a penalty that has only been in existence for about 10 years, but I kind of like that. If you're a receiving team, you get the choice of taking the 35, which is pretty good field position, or making him re-kick it. Most schools like it at the 35.
Well, but I like the fact that they throw that flag because that means you're basically trying to take it away from that return team. I mean, let's make it a fair game. Kick it to them. Let's see who's got the better return squad or blocking squad or defensive squad.
Sure thing. So Savannah Rebels, 1st and 10 at their own 35. And we'll get you some information on them here. Their left tackle is number 72, who is David Fanua. 1st and 10, they come on a shotgun. This is a classic spread offense. They don't have any tight ends on this team. They throw it to the backfield man. He makes the grab, but he gets sandwiched right away, and he gets flattens around the 36-yard line, maybe a yard of that, and that's about it.
Yeah, I think the defense. I think some defense did some good studying on knowing that's a spread offense to cover that flat, throwing the corner out and pulling the linebacker over. I think they really did a good job in covering that.
Good sidelines lateral running there by Kanari Drayton. He's a junior, 6'1", 205 pounds, middle linebacker. Makes a stop there, big number 5. Good solid build for a middle linebacker. And again, the Rebels, they like to run the spread. They will almost always have only one backfield kid. There'll be a mixture of who's in the backfield here today because their mainstay guy, the mainstay running back, is hurt. They go the same play, but just the other side, and it's incomplete. It's thrown a little bit high, a little bit of contact after the pass, falls to the ground, but it's incomplete, and no yards there.
Once again, I think Sigerstrom knows what they're doing. And the spread offense is a bad effect in some senses because you're spreading out, you're not protecting your quarterback. But if you be able to spread out your defense, you can always shut it down just like we just saw.
Robert Rogel is the junior. He's a left guard for Savannah Rebels. Tanner Gill, he's a junior, was on the JV squad last year. He's a senior this year. He's a center snapping that football for the Rebels. Logan Thomas, he's a junior. He played in the JV. He's the right guard. The right tackle is Andrew Reyes. He's a junior as well. So kind of a youthful squad there on the up front line. But they've got some good size, though. They've got some big boys. 3rd and 8. Shotgun again. A little bit of motion. They fake the give. Sets up the throw. Puts it up. Oh! A little bit off target. Was in the neighborhood of the defensive back number 22 there. Justin Young, who's getting all kinds of attention from a lot of schools. He's one of their mainstays on defense. Fastest kid on the defense, incomplete.
You know, that was a great thought and a great play. He had him open. Just threw the ball a little bit too low so the linebacker could get his hand on it.
So the Rebels will be dropping back to boot it away here, and 34 in for the punting duties. The sun is still in his area, still in his eyes there. 34 is Nate Suvanakul is the punter here, not a very tall kid. They send split guys on the line here, but I don't think they'll be running any fakes here. One return man, deep for the Jaguars. He stands there on his 28. Oh, they do fake it. And one of the up front guys there, are the second wave guys in that group of 3, gets the snap. And I was talking with, that was number 8, Dennis Gutierrez. Gutierrez dashes his way down for more than enough for the first down. He needed 8. He got about 13 or 11 or 12, I should say. And that was a nice sneak. I was talking to the head coach there down before the game began. He said, you know, we might run something like that if we have it past the 50. He did it behind the 50.
Well, I'm surprised he did it so early in the game. I mean, that's something I maybe would have waited for just because he wanted to gain that prominence. But that was a perfectly timed play. He got the opening. He took advantage of it.
A little sneakiness gets them to midfield. 1st and 10 at their just near midfield here, just off, and kind of a hybrid wing set back there. He comes in, but then they go down the middle and dragging guys with him. That was Cameron Griffith in on the run there.
See, that's the thing, Peter, about the option. It works or it doesn't work. I mean, you got to have your empty hole in the middle, or you're going to have your empty hole on the outside. You got one of two, but with a spread offense, your defense is automatically spread out.
2nd and 6, they got 4 on that one. On the stop for Jaguars was Mike Neves. Neves plays both ways. He's a senior, one of the many returning starters here from last year. I think he's a 3-year starter, actually. He played a lot as a sophomore 2 years ago. Defensive end and tight end. He made the stop. So 2nd down and 6 yards to go from the plus 46-yard line for the Rebels. Here's the pitch. Has some room here. Can he do something with it? Makes a nice, squares his shoulders and turns, but doesn't quite get there. He gets smothered there before the play was really allowed to develop further. And again, Neves on the stop there. He's been all over the field earliest defensive game for them.
You know, I am kind of impressed about the speed of the Sigerstrom defense. You know, they're really covering the outsides. They're really shutting off any holes that
good lateral speed
the running backs can get to.
Yeah, they make some good moves. They have to step to speed. You know, anybody who's been a Jaguars fan over the last 5 or 6 seasons knows that these guys are they've got enough speed where it counts, and as you know, their defense is on the field. Obviously, but they have a fair amount of both-way players, even though it's a school that is populated 2,400 students. That's a lot. Again, Cam Griffith is your quarterback. Cam will usually be in shotgun and fakes to get to the front man, and then the back man takes it, dragging guys with him, dashes his way out of bounds, does some damage, enough for the first down near the 35-yard line before he finally gets blasted out of bounds by a couple guys, including Omar Navarro, the defensive back. Makes a nice stop. He's a senior, weighs 165, puts a lot of heart into that stop.
He
but not
barely
before
got
the damage
that
was
pitch
done.
off. He barely got that pitch off.
That was tight. That was tight.
He barely got that off. It was about to be intercepted, but he got it off.
That was a nicely timed play. It was do or die right there with that thin margin of time, but they get the first down, but they stop the clock, of course. You get out of bounds. This clock always stops no matter what. That's the rules of football. 1st and 10 from the plus 36. He's behind the center this time instead of shotgun. Gives to one of his up men, and he just gets thrashed and bashed. Somebody loses their helmet, too. And down goes the ball carrier, and he's all right. Number 33 there was Justin Rosenberg. Rosenberg not happy with that play, and of course you have to trot the field if your helmet comes off, even inadvertently, because that's the rules of football. If your helmet comes off, you sit a play.
Football's football. If your helmet comes off, that makes it a better play.
There you go. So he takes a breather, and the quarterback, Griffith, is getting some instruction here from the sidelines there. The head coach of the the Rebels, he is a science teacher, and he has been there. This is his 10th season. Head coach is Roger Whalen. That was the last name of my principal years ago at the high school I went to, Whalen. Nice dash out on the outside here, makes a nice cut and gets by 2 guys, not just one. He has finally blasted though around the 15-yard line, and high steps it all the way down to the 15. How about that? Harkar, a gain of about 23 yards. You got to like that. That was smooth running, but he's hobbling on his knee here.
It was some great running. It was speed around the corner, but his bad angles by the corners and the defensive backs to not be able to cut that edge off. But other than that, great run.
And I think that's, I can't tell the number because his uniform's kind of scrunched up. But
I think it's number 8, I believe.
It's either 8 or 2. I can't, it's hard to tell. I think it's Sahid Fula, but I'm not certain. But he literally was hobbling off the field, bouncing on one leg. He hurt his. I hope it's not his knee. Knees are the worst things to hurt.
I've had it before.
Yeah, but he was hobbling on one leg. His right leg was a good one. His left one was a bad one. But they got it at the 15. He keeps the ball here. Griffith does. Scampers to his right under a lot of pressure. He's got some room. I think he's going to run it. He's going to. He's past the 10, past the 5, and he leaps into the end zone. But the ball goes flying. Then there's a flag as the ball goes flying. This is going to be a messy play at the end. Let's see what we got, because I think he lost control of the ball before he went over the goal line.
Yeah, but we got a lot of things,
to
sort out. It came from the back judge. Back judge normally means holding. So therefore, maybe one of the receivers was holding one of the DBs to prevent him from tackling the quarterback. But then he did lose the ball. I don't know what's going to happen.
That was a play that looked like he wanted to throw it to me, but it looks like everyone was covered. He didn't want to throw a bad pass. He ran for it because he had to, but he did a great improvisational play, and he had good blocking help in there on the right side, and he got his yardage. But let's see what they are going to call here.
You know, that play reminded me of is a little bit of a Terrell Pryor. You know, when the guy's got to escape because he's getting.
He did some damage against the Bears last week in quarter number 3 there.
Exactly.
He looked good.
It looked kind of good, but
I watched that game from start to finish.
Losing that ball at that point is not a good thing.
For the second quarter to finish. So, okay, this is against the Rebels. They do mark it off. Didn't see the call, but it's not going to be a touchdown. They're going to mark it at the 12-yard line, and it will be first down. So they will maintain the downs here. So it was against them, and I'm just not sure how he lost control of the football there. It went flying almost right as he was going across the goal line, but
I think the penalty superseded it.
Yeah, the penalty was beforehand. That's the reason why. All right, shotgun snap right down. Oh, it's intercepted. Intercepted by one of the linebackers. He's got it in his arms. He's got an open field in front of him. He's at the 35 at the 40. I don't think anyone's going to catch him. At the plus 40, at the plus 30. The quarterback, I think this is trying to get him. Scampers all the way into the end zone. No one touched him. It's a touchdown. And the visiting threat all of a sudden becomes a home team touchdown on defense. What a start to the season. What a start to the game. All the way run back there by the athletic one, Justin Young. Looks quite young on that play.
You know, I think it's a great defense that knew what was going to happen and read it right.
So they put up 6 on the board here. Oh, wait a second. Do we have a flag? Hang on, they're bringing it back. I did not see the flag on the field here. So.
Oh, no.
Oh, man. Well, I don't know if it's going to be a flag with Segersman's ball after the interception, or if it's going to be something
It's
that's
still
gonna...
it's still first down for Segerstrom.
Hang on, let's see.
But the touchdown's negated.
Oh, man. Well, we got all excited for nothing, folks. Flags can ruin your best day. As we see it right here. So it's the Jaguars' ball. All right, but I didn't see the call. My apologies, but they have the football, but they don't have the score. So they'll have to work for it. Give us to one of their bruiser backs. He bowls forward for more than enough for, just enough for a first down. Nice play there by 33. 33 is Ben Lopez. He's a senior, returning starter. 5'9", 180. Looks a little bit bigger than that to me. He wears a good 180 on him. Makes a nice play. And he gets the first down on first down, and you know coaches love that.
Oh, you know, I was eager to see what the Segerstrom offense would do. Their defense runs so well. These guys are pumped.
So they come with the wing back to the right side. Give us to number 2. He's running in traffic here and moves about, thrashes about. He gets thrashing down. Omar Navarro with 1 V and 2 R's. He's a senior, 5'10", 165 pounds. Pulls forward for about 3 or 4, or actually about 6 yards, maybe call it 7.
You know, I don't know what they put in the water in Segerstrom High School, but these guys run, you know, these guys are in shape. They train a lot, they could tell.
Yeah, the only guy that's not playing tonight is our kicker, because he was the only guy that missed any practice this week, and Masarenko runs a tight ship. There's a handoff to the one of the up man. This is Justin Young, who's a both-way player. He finally goes down around midfield, but not before the damage is done. His scamper all the way down to midfield from the 32, so an 18-yard pickup. And John, you know, you're joining us for games now, watching Segerstrom play. I've been covering them for the last about 3 or 4 seasons. This is their type of offense. They are run first and pretty much everything else second, and they get big gaping gains in the ground. I mean, last year I was reading some of their average running, their average yards per carry was like 8.6, 10.2. I mean, among a stable of guys, that's the usual way for them.
Their offensive line charges it. That's all it is.
Yeah, they're good.
They really control that line of scrimmage. They don't let the front 7 get to that runner. They wait till that back 4 get to the runner.
They blow people off. Left to right, let's get him for you. Number 57. 57 is Kevin Cruz, Jr. 65 is Marcos Barajas, senior offensive lineman and defensive lineman. I think he's one of the returning starters. 55 is the center. 55 is Alejandro Garcia. He also does some punting and kicking. Right guard is number 75. And they keep it on the ground, trying to run the outside. He gets blasted there from behind. A good hard clean hit there. Nice play by, I think, number 42.
That is a fantastic fill by the safety. He read it, he came up, he delivered. Open field tackles are huge.
William Olivetti makes a beautiful open tackle play on that one. Good hard clean hit, brings him down. And the right guard there for Segerstrom, the Jaguars, is big number 75, Sebastian Silva, 5'10", 245 pounds, pretty big guy. And the right tackle, your right tackle is big number 72, Alex Juarez. He's a senior, 6'1", 255. I would not want to be the guy that's in charge of feeding those guys. All right, nice cut in there, a nice narrow hole, but he hits it in that little nook and cranny. Good job by him. Enough for the first down, I think.
Peter, you know the problem with Savannah is they're not filling gaps. They're leaving open holes. They're getting cut off and they're getting blocked. They're not stopping that first point of contact, and they're getting multiple yards.
That was Brian Diaz. Brian Diaz on the dash. He got the first down. He needed about 4. You got about 6 or 7. And again, they are in shotgun. You don't see this that often. This is number 3, your quarterback, Jacob Placencia. Placencia puts it up, and a leaping attempt to get it. A little bit of contact, but it's incomplete. No flag is shown. The contact is pretty incidental. Ball was in the area. Daniel Mendez, wide receiver, senior, was intended pass or receiver, incomplete.
That DB got lucky on that one. That ball was a little bit underthrown. If it was a little bit more air under it, touchdown all the way.
I'll tell you, man, for what was a hot day today, John and I worked together. I mean, it was blazing hot today. It's now nice and breezy and cool up here. It's always nice and windy and cool up here.
It's a lovely day today.
So for what was a hot, blazing summer day, it turned into a nice early fall evening up here. So no complaints.
It's a beautiful night for football.
Masarenka actually has an OC and a DC. He's got one of both. He also is involved with the offensive play calling, of course, but most head coaches, John, as you might know, are usually their offensive coordinator or their defensive coordinator. Like the Savannah coach, he is his own OC.
Well, some of them like to take control. Some of them like to play, have the control over what plays are called. But sometimes you do have to relinquish it to a coordinator to really make sure it goes smooth.
And Masarenka he's been in charge here since day one, since this school opened in 05. Of course, this is Santa Ana's, This is, of course, the newest high school in, pardon me, a legal man downfield against Seegers when they mark it off, so it's pushed back to the 42, the plus 42 yard line, so they'll be having second down. Let's see here, is it first down still? I always trust a down marker on the field rather than the scoreboard. Okay, yeah, first down. The clock is wrong, the down marker's right. First and about 15. The first wave of attackers don't bring him down, but the second wave finally smother him there. Big number 50 brought him down. 50 is Logan Thomas. So the man with the common first and last name makes an uncommon tackle. Good stop by him. He's a big guy too. I would judge he's about 5'9", 5'10".
He's a big boy.
About maybe 290. He's got some punch on him.
He doesn't need the hot dog I just ate, I'll tell you that.
I'll give him the hot dog you bought. I had plenty of pizza today. We all did. And thank you for the pizza again.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right. Nice inside cut here. Does it with a good head of steam going, and he just gets blasted right away. A good, hard, clean hit around the knees. I think it was number 22 made the stop there.
Well, see, Peter, what I think is, since it's the first game of the season, a lot of these teams are just getting used to each other. For the first couple drives are going to be, getting used to the runs or getting used to spread offense. Now they're starting to get it. Now they're starting to stop them. So it's getting harder for Segerstrom to be able to make those yards. Savannah's doing a good job on shutting down defense and letting less yards.
You got Justin Young on the run, number 22, and stopped by number 22, Israel Valente. Their brother is 22. And we got flags. They're thrown and whistles are blown. We have a dead ball foul. Parker, I've been waiting months to say that. It was finally the beginning of the season.
I don't know who was more excited today. I don't know if it was the players on the field or if it was me coming to announce this game. I played 17 years of football, both in high school, college. Yeah, just to feel this environment, it takes me up on top.
Well,
it
football,
really does.
hey, I've always told people before, John, if football, if all the other sports tomorrow ceased to exist, if they all blew up, it wouldn't affect my life.
As long as there's football. As long as there's football.
That's right. You got that right.
I'll even watch the CFL.
Look out, puts it up. Placencia, nice toss here off to the side, more sideways than more space across field than downfield. It's caught there, and he kind of falls as he makes the grab. Nice catch there by Daniel Mendez, but his momentum was kind of carrying him down, and down he goes. Not enough for the first down. It is fourth down, and they don't have the regular kicker in tonight because he missed practice. Shame on him. And most coaches will say if you miss one practice, you don't start. If you miss two practices, you don't play. Masarenko's rules are if you miss one practice, you don't play.
Sounds like kind of like a Hitler to me. But on a third down play, you got to have your receivers make sure they at least hit the first down marker and then pull your left, pull your out. Because you want to make sure you get near that flag, and here, you're 3, 4, 5 yards short.
It's fourth and a long 3. Now we have more flags here, and this is even before they even set up, which is kind of surprising. I was talking to Masarenko before the game began, John. He was saying that we'll have an update on Cam at quarterback, Cameron Griffith, the visitors here in a minute. I guess he was the one that was a little bit hurt.
I think he's the one that got injured. Was he the one that's limping off the field?
I think so. Jacob, yeah. but talking about the Jags quarterback, Joshua Placencia, he's a senior, and yeah, let's see here. Yeah, he's a senior, but he didn't play on varsity last year, but he did play football. He didn't play quarterback last year. Puts it up, a nice toss there down the middle. A nice touch of that pass. He made a nice grab in traffic, too. He got blasted right away. Nice catch by number 2 there. Omar Navarro makes the grab. Enough for the first down, so they go for it on fourth down. They maintain possession of the football.
That's a great play on fourth down, but he had number 6 up the sideline seam, wide open. Could have been an easy touchdown. Great play to get the first down, but he had open men.
Those are one of those hard catches to make because you're a receiver. You get blasted right down the middle. He did. Nice dash here, still on his feet, and nearly no one. He clung by to maybe one guy, and he's in for the touchdown. No flags. The field is clean. It's a touchdown, and they get their score back after missing out on the flag after the interception return. Pompeo Flores, quarterback, senior, 5'6", 180. And he's kind of a light kid, but he makes a nice play right there.
The reason why that happened, tackling.
Yeah, they didn't look very good on it. Yeah, that looked pretty piss poor on that play, yeah.
I mean, my 10-year-old daughter can run through those tackles.
Yeah, they didn't look sharp at that. I
think my wife can run through those tackles, too.
Could be. I don't know. Right here last night, Godinez High School opened up their season Thursday night, and they won. I believe they beat one of the high schools out of Garden Grove. I think it was Santiago. They won 32-30, and they and they came very close to losing that game. They had a couple interceptions late, coughed up the football. The visiting team scored late, went for a 2-point conversion, missed the 2-point conversion, so they're still down 32-30. Did an onside kick. The visitors got the ball back, drove downfield, tried a field goal, and then they missed that too. So Godinez was kind of fortunate to get out with a win yesterday. They're one of the other high schools, of course, in the broadcast area.
Once again, Peter, it's a first game. Nerves, jitters, misreads. There's a lot of stuff that's gonna happen. It's just it's inevitable. I've been through this 15 years. But as long as they keep trying, they're going to do well.
The point is good by John
like
Mendoza.
Mendoza makes the kick attempt. It's good. And the score is 7-0 here with 2 minutes, 23 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Here we got a pretty good turnout here on the home side. Not a super full house. Not every seat is filled, but it's pretty close. And of course the Jaguars, they pull them in kind of from all over. They draw here well for the home games, no question about it. Hopefully we'll be out here for a lot more games this season. I think we will, because we're getting more camel work help this year. And I know that we're going to be back here for what's called the fundamental game. These guys versus Godinez, who we were just talking about just a moment ago. And that one is like, you better have a can opener to get into that game, because this place is it feels like Texas on that Friday night.
Standing room only?
Yeah, I was to that game 2 years ago. And
it's a Bon Jovi concert you can't get into?
It was, well, I was able to get in. My problem was getting out. It took me 20 minutes to get out of the parking lot. Everyone was, I'm not kidding, and I, parked just the north end of the campus here. Was just, everyone was, I couldn't get a spot to.
But tell me you don't feel the electricity.
Turn out the street.
The first night of high school football. I mean, the electricity is just there.
Absolutely. My favorite time of the year, man. It's I enjoy my summer, but when football season's here, I'm ready for it emotionally and mentally and all that stuff. All right, kicking off. When the deep man takes it up, gets a little blocking help, still on his feet, scatters downfield, and finally gets knocked at around the 30-31 yard line. A host of black shirts in there on the stop. Nice job.
Yeah, that's good coverage.
It was good coverage. Good job. Good special teams play there by the Jaguars. And see here, Mike Nieves, who's called out his name a couple times here tonight, makes another stop, doing a good job here for him tonight. So reloading here. Back on the field, I should say.
You know what I've noticed something between the two teams. I noticed that Segerstrom has a lot of more energy. Something just shows a lot more energy for some reason to me.
And they're just they're pretty much always that way. I mean, they're in tune, and they're well coached. It kind of shows. 1st and 10 from the 31. Fakes the throw, keeps it on the ground, himself the quarterback, and he scampers to the right side, trying to find some room. There's a flag down on that far side of the field, and my guess is going to be some shenanigans on the offensive line, maybe somebody moved before the ball was snapped, or holding or something like that. Probably something on the O-line.
Well, it just seems to me that Savannah's offense is so one-dimensional with that, with the play and with the bootlegs. Segerstrom's going to be able to close that down. It's going to be inevitable. That spread offense, they're going to be able to close it down because they're reading the plays right.
So they're marching it off against the Rebels here, and it's going to be a 5-yard penalty. So again, Fanua is your left tackle. Robert Rogel, junior, left guard. The center snapping the football tonight. Tanner Gill, again, he's a junior. Fanua is the only senior on that front line, so there's a little bit of an experience level difference there. Savannah Young to Segerstrom's experienced. Logan Thomas, junior, JV player last year, right guard and right tackle. Again, Andrew Reyes for the Rebels. And a little bit of trouble here. Scampers to the right side instead of the left, and just dashes out of bounds before he gets hit.
Quarterback keeper number 3, Cameron Griffith.
Cameron Griffith's
out of bounds.
hobbling earlier. He's better now, and he just
that'll bring up second.
He just kind of avoided the hit there at the end of the play.
I'm going to say that kid's an athletic kid.
He is.
Like I said, reminds me of a Terrell
He'll break one or two or three here tonight.
Days,
Yeah. He's the type of player that will keep Segerstrom defense honest, but
on his feet, on his toes,
absolutely.
I should say.
Yeah, I mean, there's talent there and everything, but these guys last year, they were only 1 win and 9 losses, so they haven't had a lot of success. They are in the I think they're in the Orange League, and the Orange League is pitches it, and the ball hits the ground. It doesn't hit the hands of the backfield kid, and he just wisely covers up that football, but they, of course, they lose the down.
Peter, that's what's wrong with running something like this and the pitch option on a young team is that you're not always going to make that perfect pitch. This takes years to practice and perfect. Even professionals can't even do it all the time. But utilizing this in a high school game with a fast defense, it's not going to work.
Yeah. And they're kind of taking their time in the huddle. If they're not careful, they're going to get a too much time penalty here. Play clock is ticking, and game clock is ticking. We have a minute to go and less here in the first quarter. Kind of a fast-moving game. 3rd and 20 from the 22. Deep drop here. Deep drop. Backfield kid throw intended there. He had time, and the kid was the most. I mean, it was a little bit tight, but he was open, and that one was just off target, incomplete. Intended guy was number 23, and he did all he could to grab it, but he couldn't. That was intended for Kevin Olms, and Olms no go.
He had the blockers. There was guys out there. Just a poor throw.
Yeah, it was a little bit off. So they'll be in for the booting duties once again on 4th and 20. So this is a little bit too deep to run anything fake. They'll be punting this one away. You watch.
Well, they need to punt it, not put a fake and then pin them down so deep in their own territory.
Yeah, they'll be putting this one away. So no shenanigans here. And they still split receivers on both sides of the field. And they're taking the time on the snap, but it's right to him. Good snap, good long snap. Gets a good kickoff, and return man comes up to get it. And hesitates for a minute and just pummels bodies with the guy that brings him down. But they're already in plus territory here. They're already at the Catella 45-yard line or so. So they're going to be any coach will take starting to drive with the plus 45-yard line. John, they love that.
Hey, short field is always the best field to work with.
There you go. Yeah, you look at the NFL and players like, I'm not just trying to name him because he's a Bears player, but look at a guy like Devin Hester over the last 10 years. I mean, that's a game changer.
Bear, wouldn't you?
But he's a game changer. You got to admit. I mean, he's the one that starting drives from far up the field. That's the kind of guy that gets you in places where you got that short field. Nice run out of the backfield. That's
also the type of guy you want to put the ball in his hands.
Exactly. And they've used him as a receiver more lately.
Sigerstrom has that ability.
Omar Navarro. He clunked bodies there with Kai Williams. Kai Williams plays a little bit on offense, but we'll see on defense. Not many both-way players here on the Savannah side, only 1 or 2. Shotgun here on 2nd and 1. It was a 9-yard gain in the previous play. In traffic in the middle there, still on his feet. It takes 2 guys to finally drag him down. That was Placencia. Placencia, the man with many vowels in his last name, picks up a few yards. 109. He weighs 190 pounds, and he moves well with that weight.
He definitely is a player.
But I was talking to Masarenka before the game began. He's saying, Jacob Placencia, even though he played for us last year, he was, for the most part, a starter, but in other positions. He says, we feel really excited about him, even though we don't ask our quarterbacks to throw a whole lot. He says there's a lot we can do with throwing on the run. There's a lot we can do with him running the football this year. He said he brings an athletic aspect to the position that we haven't had since I've been here. He's really excited about having him as a quarterback this year. And it certainly has got a good combination of height, size, and toughness.
Well, I think his ability to run, his ability to throw, it opens up a lot of the offense. So they're going to be able to spread it out a lot more, do those play-action passes, and really exploit the defense. I think that's what's really going to help them the most.
Yeah, they look sharp here tonight, and again, this is only a second possession. But the Sigerstrom Jaguars, sometimes they can be almost, I won't say their own nemesis, but I've seen plenty of drives that are only over the last few seasons that are 2 or 3 or 4 plays long because they break those long runs. That's something they commonly do. They have that type of run offense that can do it.
Well, being a defensive player too, it does kind of break. It breaks the situation if you're not paying attention to exactly where the ball is going, and that's what's going to kill you.
So Sigerstrom to start the second quarter in very good shape, sitting pretty. 1st and 10 at the plus 28-yard line, and they line up tight here with the wing back to the left, and they do some shifting. They got a receiver to the right. Now the tight end and the wing go to the right, so the right is the strong side here. Oh, fumble the ball. And don't forget, folks, the rule number 1, John, as you know, maintain possession of the football. And as last time I checked, John, possession is still 9/10 of the law.
Hey, jump on the football, don't give it up. That's the thing, especially when you're down within the 30-yard line plus inside in the red zone. All technically red zones being the 20-yard line, but keep the ball. You don't want to give it up. You have to fall on it. Don't let someone else get it.
Don't try to be the glory boy, especially in this part of the field.
Don't try to pick it up.
Just hang on and just maintain the possession. Exactly.
Don't try to pick it up.
So, yeah, you see that so many times, especially in a fumble, and you can almost feel like a defender. They want to pick up the ball in the moment. They want to be the glory boy. I can understand their want to do that because they don't get a lot of chances to score. But
that was a PI big time.
He hit him before the ball's in the air. You can't do that. And that was way too downfield that happened. So yeah, they are gonna be guilty of interference there on the 17-yard line.
Me being a defensive back for so many years, I mean, you can deter someone's route by standing in front of them and they run into you. That's not your fault. But what he did was blatant.
Yeah.
He just specifically disturbed his route, and that's why he got the flag.
So they will mark it off here, and that was a 2nd and 12 play that we just saw in here right there a moment ago after the fumble. And they are marching it off over to the...
I thought it'd be like a first down from the spot of the foul, if I'm not correct. Is that only NFL?
I guess so, yeah. I think that it used to be the other way around in high school. It used to be that way in high school, and years ago I think they changed it to if it's incidental, 5 yards. If it's flagrant, 15. Fakes the give here, has time to cock back and set up, puts it up, it's overthrown, incomplete.
That ball was a little bit high, but he should have reached up and got it.
Daniel Mendez was the intended receiver, and you got to be a little bit careful on those high passes, because if you're not careful, and there's a madman, the defensive back, somebody like you from years ago, somebody could wind up with a cracked sternum.
Well, but also too, when you're this close to the end zone, you're in field goal range, and you don't want to give a DB the ability to get it. So if you got to throw a little higher, help your receiver jump after it, then the worst thing that can happen is it goes out of bounds. Just like
Camper's right down here in the middle, trying to dragging guys from behind. He was hanging onto his jersey for dear life, but he stutter steps his way down inside the 10 to about the 9. That was Young, and Young's had a really good game here tonight on both sides of the ball.
He's a tough runner.
Yeah, he is. He can move. He's the snake-like moves there. Diego Gomez makes a stop there for the Savannah Rebels in white and red and gray. A little bit of gray on their uniform too. It's just kind of hard to see. All right, 1st and 10 from the 10. So 1st and goal. And this is right down the middle. Oh, he fumbled the ball in the end zone. He's trying to pounce back on it there. Omar Navarro.
And he got it
back. Touchdown. So
Omar Navarro, good for a Sigerson touchdown.
A little thrill, a little bit of heart attack, and then a thrill again. Touchdown, he fell on the ball.
I'm just really impressed about the offensive line of Sigerstrom. They're carrying it. They're really opening up holes. They're giving the runners ability to run through tackles.
That is their mainstay. Any good football fan knows, and you and I watch football a little bit differently than most people. You watch for that protection, and like I've mentioned, anybody who's been a fan here over the last few years, they're in for the extra point duties. The big guy in there for the kick, and he converts. So that was number 61. And that was Julian Mendoza connects. So again, the regular kicker, Avia, is sat here tonight. He's not playing. But yeah, these guys, we've seen Young with a couple of runs here. We've seen, who else? Navarro, there you go.
Navarro with a couple runs.
Last year and the year before, I've done some games as late as week 8, week 7, week 9, week 10. You'll see some of these guys having average yardage per touch 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 yards. That's really good. That's really good.
That's really good.
And that's an ode to your offensive line.
But what I've noticed too is a lot of these running backs, it's yards after touch, after hit.
Yeah.
Once they catch the ball or get the ball and they hit one person, they don't go down. They keep running. And that's really where the conditioning, the instinct, just the natural ability comes into play.
Yeah. That is for sure. So Sigerson is defending the south goal here, of course, in the 2nd quarter. Kicking off. Kind of a high kick, but not a very deep kick. And when the up man takes it and just kind of signals that he's not going to run it back, so they'll still have decent field position at about the 32-yard line. It's not bad. So that's regularly a player that's not used to returning the kickoff.
Well, what I think we need to see right now is Navarro. They need to step up the game. They need to make a point. They need to show that they're not here to lay down. 14-0. It's not a big deficit. However, if you show something, drive it down the field, then you're going to show that to the Sigerstrom team that you mean business.
Well, to put it in a very politically correct manner, time to get your hiney in gear.
And this, yes.
I wanted to use another word, but I can't.
We're on television.
First and 10 from their own 31. They are right behind the center here. We got a wing to the right, and we got a receiver to the left. Actually, we've got receivers on both sides. And they bowl forward for maybe 2. That was 33 there. 33 is Justin Rosenberg. And the Rebels, again, classic spread offense. They actually carry no tight end. If you're a tight end on this team, you're a very lonely man. So, I mean, you'll very often see them come on that field with 4 receivers or 3 receivers and a wing back or whatever. But the one back set, that's what they usually run.
What I've seen in this game is, well, you know the definition of insanity. Same thing, expecting different results.
Yeah, there you go.
That's what they're doing. Seagerstrom's already read it, and they keep going after. They need to change up a little scheme, do a trick play, do something to spark the offense.
Yeah. So they're going to wing to the right, 2 receivers to the right. They go that side of the field, and it's tossed, but it's incomplete there. Incomplete was intended for Ben Torres, and just was kind of behind his body. Couldn't really make the grab at that angle. And the Rebels just kind of sputtering here on offense still. So again, the clock stops here with an incomplete pass, is the rule in football on all levels of football. As the season's kind of getting started earlier and earlier. This is, of course, actually the end of the first week of the school year. This is Friday night, August the 30th. Used to be called week 0, but as far as I'm concerned, it's week 1 because the first week of school is commenced. But week 1 used to be after Labor Day. Oh, fumble. He forgot the ball. Looks like he didn't even realize he didn't have it for a second there. I think the Seagerstrom got it, but I'm not sure.
They did.
I think the defensive player pounced on it first. 85, I believe. Let's see as they unpile the pile here. Looks like...
Fumble by the Rebels. Recovered by number 85, Chris Nieto.
I was right. I got pretty good eyes. Chris Nieto recovered the football. So Seagerstrom taking over and looking to do more damage here.
That's a sloppy football, but once again, we're in week 1. There's a lot of kinks people are going to work out. There's a lot of jitters. But Seagerstrom just took advantage of it.